What's poppin'? It's your girl, Jazzy J. How y'all doing today? Welcome to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome. If not, what is up, Buttercup? Today is Sunday. We are going back to our regularly scheduled program of manga in a makeover. However, today I'm not going to be doing a makeover. Why? Because I'm going to be hanging out with some of my friends later on today, and I would like to take my Bantu knots out. So that is what I'm going to be doing instead of doing my makeup while talking about the webcomic series we've been doing for a little bit now. If you guys don't know this channel, literally what I do is I just do my makeup, which I don't really know how to do, so just full disclosure, I don't know how to do makeup. And I talk about webcomics. I don't put any of the webcomic actual pictures in my things, in my videos, because like copyright, and I'm not trying to get copyright stricken, so that's kind of what we're doing. If you guys haven't seen the previous videos, please go ahead and check them out. Otherwise, you are going to be a little bit lost, but if you're just here and you just enjoy like hearing me talk and whatnot, then hey, I mean, stick around, it's totally fine. Make sure you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and drop a comment if you like this story, if you don't like this story, if you have a different story, you know, something like that. They're not reviews, it's more like a storytelling ish, something like that, okay? Go ahead and follow me on my Twitch, my Instagram. I have a Twitter, which I'm not very active on. I do have a Facebook, but it's, again, not very active. TikTok, yeah, you can follow me on all those things, okay? Okay? Sound good? Good, okay. Then, let's go ahead and get into this video. So, the last place that we took off at was the start of the forum debate discussion thing that was going to be happening, where the second princess, Alexa, and her cousin, I think his name is Killian, I kept saying Kylian, but we're just calling him Kai, they're going in together to do this debate discussion forum. Yada yada yada, okay. Oh, right. It may not look like it, I have a lot of hair. Also, whenever you're taking down any styles, typically black people know this, but for the rest of y'all, always use an oil on your hands to take down your hair. Do it gently. Don't try to rush things, okay? If you feel like you're going to need an hour to take your hair down, give yourself 2 hours, because it's probably going to take 2 hours, okay? Okay. But it's the bell rings, and it's the start of the forum, so they're going to go ahead and, you know, go into the forum. Now, if I remember, his name is Chancellor Avon Chrome, we're just calling him Avon, okay, Avon. He welcomes everybody to the new forum, which is, for a whole bunch of scholarly, aristocratic children that are it's meant to be a good time. And everyone is free to express their opinion. There's not to be any harsh criticism. Of course, don't be shy. And the most important part is enjoy yourself. That's what, you know, have fun. So the topic of debate for today is the current situation of Philippe, the Kingdom of Philippe. And of course they being the aristocrats, start to debate exactly, you know, what's going on and how they're feeling everything. But essentially it gets down to the gist of the envoy from Aphil, the Aphil Empire, which there are different empires, is visiting soon. And the delegation comes and goes to promote close ties between the nations. Now, the biggest threat to the Kingdom of Philippe right now is the Kingdom of Aphil. But at the moment, Philippe and Aphile are allies. But if they were to grow closer, according to the aristocrats, Philippe would have to sacrifice quite a lot, right? Now, that being the case, a lot of these aristocrats, and we can see this in modern day society right now, a lot of these aristocrats who are very, filthy stinking rich, and they don't ever fight or anything like that, the first thing they jump to is war, because, what else would you do? Like, when somebody is a threat, you jump to war. No, don't. And that's literally what we're seeing in, today's politics, but I digress. They jump to war, even though there's no guarantee of them actually winning the war. And the men argue about the military strength, and how there's a disgrace to think low of the country's forces, of Philippe's forces, of their military strength. They can form allies with the other countries that have been persecuted by Aphile, and they can win. The reason why they're debating all this is because Alexa's like, why is that the first thing that you jump to? But she didn't say anything at the moment. She's just, she's just mulling about. Fine, whatever. And there's a lot of agreement that's going around in the room, and the big thing that Alexa was like, no, is they said, well, not only do we have a great military strength and whatnot, but we also have Alexa the Beast on our side, who will make sure that we win the war. And Alexa is like, whoa, hold up, wait. You have who on your side? No. What makes you so sure that I would agree to go to war? What makes you so sure? And the men, the aristocratic sons, were like, oh, well, you're a royal family member and you've always gone in the past, so, you should go this time as well. And Alexa is like, So, because I am a royal family member, and because I have gone in the past, and because I have experience being a general, yeah, she's a general, I have more consideration for the situation that is happening before just, jumping straight into war. That's typically not the first thing that I would just suggest out of the blue. The aristocratic sons say to her, well, that's fine, the kingdom of Aphile they're shaky right now. They're having a lot of financial instability right now because of things that have been going on. And this is the best time to strike, while they're still down. And Alexa's like, no, that's actually not true. They used to be shaky. They used to be, but not anymore. They're actually steadily on the rise to being back to what they once were. Now, don't get me wrong, it's definitely going to take some time, but they're making economic stimulus measures and are on the verge of recovery. This is not a good time to attack a country that is on the verge of recovery. No, we're not doing that. And the lords of all the aristocratic families are like, well, we're not really sure where you heard this rumor from, but it seems to us like you're just a terrified little princess that doesn't want to go to war. Now, mind you, as a reader, I'm like, you guys wouldn't go to war if your lives literally depended on it. You wouldn't do anything. You would sit there and you would command your armies from up in your high ivory tower, and as soon as you lost the war, you'd be like, oh, you guys suck. You can't do this. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't, why are you sitting there blaming Alexa when she's the royal princess who's been fighting before. She's the general. She's the one who has all the tactics. Like, why? Like, these lords and ladies, other than Alexa and Kai, are like really genuinely starting to piss me off, you know? I feel like they piss y'all off too. But anyway, Alexa let them know that this is not a rumor, first of all, and she heard it at the exchange rate with neighboring countries. Typically, there's a thing that apparently happens where the neighboring countries get together and they talk about everything that is going on. I guess anything that's related to treaties or fighting or transportation, transport in and out, importing, exporting goods, all that stuff. They come together and they talk about different things like that. So Alexa, of course, is going to know what exactly is happening between the different countries and why it's not a good time to go to war. But she's like, but you guys probably didn't know that, did you? No, because they didn't tell you. So what right do you have to say that we still need to go to war? Not only that, but are you aware that the imperial currency is getting stronger? Now, I don't, if I'm thinking of this correctly, because the one thing that I don't particularly like about some webcomics is that in a webcomic, unlike a book, they don't have maps of the kingdom. Like, sometimes they do draw maps, but like this one doesn't particularly have a map of the kingdoms to look like. So I'm assuming like these kingdoms are basically a smaller sub-kingdoms of the giant kingdom that kind of controls everything, which is the imperial currency. I don't know. We're just kind of guessing at this point, honestly. But are they aware that the imperial products, they're being exported more rapidly? Due to laws that were passed in secret, the debt has now been reduced by 30%. God, could you imagine? Could you imagine if America had reduced its debt by 30%? Would we be in a better economic situation than we are right now? Would gas not be so astronomical? Would people be able to go off and afford, housing and food and clothing and utilities with a full-time job that pays, $30K annually? Or 40K annually? Like, okay, this is a little bit off. This is a little off topic here, real quick, but I find it to be kind of sad that in today's day and age, it's no longer affordable to have a full-time job unless you are working for a 6-figure income and you don't have any kids or any dependents and you're not married. Like, that's really sad. That in order for life to be affordable, you have to be making over 6 figures. And unfortunately, I wish I were exaggerating. No. I'm not exaggerating, because you have to think about rent, you have to think about utilities, you have to think about bills, you have to think about food, clothing, gas, emergency savings, all of these different things. Then you have to think about investing for your future, if you're going to go into the stock market, if you're going to get insurance products. I mean, you got to think about all these different things, and that's only the stuff that you should be taking care of. That doesn't include things like going on vacation, going out to eat with your friends, having the money and having the time to just be like, you know what, this weekend I'm going to do nothing. And you're not having to stress like, oh, I don't know if I'm not going to be able to take off time from work, being able to take a week off of work and being like, I'm good, I can pay my bills, even if I decide to take a vacation. I'm literally not making enough to comfortably take a few days off from work. When I say a few, I mean literally like 2 days off from work. I am not making enough money to do something like that, and that's sad. That's sad. That really says a lot. And for the older generation, well, it's not like y'all could have particularly done too much. The people who are kind of in our situation now that are older than us, because like y'all aren't the ones going out making laws and whatnot. And even though you guys voted and whatnot, it's it's a lot. It's a lot. But anyway, we're going back to the story here real quick. Alexa says all of these things have been happening, all of these good things that have been happening with the Epheal country. So I will ask you again, do you really think it is a wise idea to go into war? Like seriously, legitimately, do you believe it is a good idea to go into war now knowing all of this information that I just told you? What do you think is going to happen? How in the world do you think this is going to work? Do you think that you're going to put more money into the military and that's going to equal a win for you? Okay, well if that happens, winning, yeah, maybe you do win. Maybe you put a lot more money into there and we do end up winning the war. But you guys don't understand that winning and losing is not based only on military power. If Philippe, the kingdom of Philippe, breaks its ties off and is isolated from the other countries and from the Epheal country and from the imperial whatever that country is named, they haven't said just yet. Who's going to be responsible for the economy and the lives of all the people who have now been isolated, segregated by the other countries because a few stupid people at the top decided that their best bet was to go into war? Like, you guys are probably going to be fine because you have a crap ton of money, but you have to think about the people who are going to be affected by this. The civilians, the children, the mothers, the fathers, the regular, everyday Joe Schmo are going to be affected the most if you just decide that you're going to go to war. Like, that's just what's going to end up happening. And not only that, the money that's going to go into the military, you're going to end up with disadvantages. You're just going to end up with disadvantages. But the main thing is, if you truly want to have a war, how many of y'all lords are going to go to war? How many? Because when it comes to war, it is the heads of the family that are going to go to war. So that means your fathers are going to go to war. Not only that, my father is going to go to war. So, are you seriously going to sit there and gamble on the life of the king of this country for a war that we are very likely to lose? Very likely to lose. And once the war is over, once the war is lost, you guys are going to aim for the king. That's what's going to end up happening. You're going to aim for the king. So, I will reiterate this one last time. You cannot discuss war over the life of the king. You can't do that. After this, it's break time. And that's kind of where I'm gonna end the video. This part of the video for today, because I don't feel like having this go like very long, and I've been doing a lot of sitting around, so I honestly don't know how long this video actually is. Hopefully it's under like 20 minutes. I think it's under 20 minutes. I do. I'm not even done doing my hair just yet, but I think it's under 20 minutes. Alright, so I went ahead and finished my hair. As you guys can see, it's got some volume to it. It does. So I'm literally just going to put it all up very loosely in this pretty stretchy band here for a little bit, just for a little bit, and then I will let it back out again, and that'll help stretch things out for a little bit, so it comes down a little bit farther, and then I'm just gonna pin up the front here and it'll come down, like a high-low. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for this story, or this section of the story, part 5. If you like this story, again, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Go ahead and turn on the bell notifications so that you know when I post another video. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Even though I am a hot mess, I still enjoy making these videos, and I would love to enjoy talking about these webcomics more with you guys out there who are also in the same weird niche that I tend to find myself in. Yeah, go ahead, again, follow me on all my social media, which I'll put in the description box, or I won't put it in the description box. I really don't know anymore. Is what it is. Next week, we're probably going to be doing part 6 of the story, unless something ends up happening. Again, things tend to just happen to me. So, like, it's kind of that, And, I'll see you guys later. Bye!